Sorry, y'all called me about a story. Oh, no, I think that was the one with the cat, the cop. We need that video of them the cop walking through the brother.
But I have not. You have honored all of us in a way we could never, ever explain. You have done for us what no man save the Lord could do, which is allow words that we struggle to fight with on the street never die. That it bear fruit in the midst of all that comes upon. And that we as men of God can go to our grave and say, we did the Lord's job. We didn't turn our back. We didn't run. Warriors, I praise you greatly, man. I am jealous of your greatness and the works you have done. I fear to see you on tape and do the amazing works of God that I know you're going to do. I'm afraid to see what Christ has done in us as a people. Yet I am joyful for you, for all that you will experience, all that you will see, all that you will learn, all that you will gain, all that you will accomplish in this world. Today, you are no longer niggas in space. You are the prophets of God. Congratulations.
Tap. Strike the miss. Strike the miss. Open your eyes, brother. Open your eyes. Strike the miss. There you go. There you go. There you go. Strike the miss. There you go. There you go. Just like that.
There you go. Strike. Strike. There you go. There you go. Hand swap.
Order him. Order him. Order him. There you go. All right. Copy. I'll turn you this way. All right. Right out. Look out. Look out. There you go. You did the first time. It's going to kill right out. Look out. See if I can hit your eye. Hit my left side, brother. Yeah. Let it run just like that. Try to break it right side. I think we want to use your hand. Wash your hands off the water. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Jumping jack. Attack. Like a miss. Strike the miss. Open your eyes, brother. Open your eyes. Strike the miss. There you go. There you go. There you go. Strike the miss. There you go. There you go. Just like that.
There you go. Strike. Strike. There you go. There you go. Hand swap.
Order him. Order him. Order him. All right. Right out. Keep looking up. Look up. There you go. You did the first time. It's going to feel right now. Look up. Yes, I can hit your eye. Yeah. Let it run just like that. Try to break it for the time. I think we want to use your hand. Oh, shit.
Officer 50 from YAHANNA. Officer 500, Plotting out for bar. Officer 500, the Turkey Outlaw. Officer 500, the Turkey. I got one more from South Texas. Officer Warrior. You can't stand up. You can't. Also, I'm walking out. Jumping jack. Jumping jack. Open your eyes. Open your eyes.
Jumping jack. Jumping jack.
Fight. Fight. Yeah. Fight. Get some. Fight.
Open your eyes. Go.
Get some. Get going.
That last spray was like, stay in the air?
Oh, yeah. Inside, outside, block. Get out, get the back off the wall. Get out of there. Get out of there.
Footwork going, yeah. Good shit. Yeah. Come on.
Of Israel, it's a nation, yes.
So let me ask you this, Rabbi. How are you Jewish?
My parents are Jewish. I was born Jewish. My grandparents are Jewish. My great-great-great-great-grandparents are Jewish. I am Jewish.
I understand. So according to Jewish culture, which parent determines if you're Jewish?
What is it?
I said, according to Jewish culture, which parent determines if you're Jewish?
The mother.
The mother. And now in the Torah, where does it say that?
What is it?
I said, in the Torah, where does it say that?
What do you mean?
Meaning, Rabbi, it sounds like your wife is doing all the talking, but she's helping you a lot. That's fine.
let me tell you, if you want to go to the root, you have to understand there's something called the written Torah and there's something called the oral Torah. And when we talk about the Bible, we talk about the Hebrew Bible. It's also called the Tanakh. Tanakh is the part of the 5 books that are called the Torah, the Nevi'im, which is the prophets' books, and the last, it's like an acronym, is Ketuvim. These are all the Chronicles, the books of the Kings, Psalms, and the Scrolls, and all that. So this is the written Torah. But when Moses received the Torah on Mount Sinai, he received the written Torah with the oral Torah.
The book of Numbers, that's in the Torah, correct?
Yes.
So in Numbers 1:18, why does Moses tell the children of Israel that they declare their pedigrees, meaning they're a Jew by lineage of the father, not the mother?
It doesn't say that.
I don't know if you read it or not. You can read it for yourself. It says in Numbers 1:18 that Moses had the children of Israel declare their pedigree through their father.
Let me tell you, I'm actually a teacher, so I don't, me personally, I believe that, in my opinion, it can be from the father or from the mother.
Let me ask you this, because like I said, we both have our own personal, opinions on things, but I tend to stray away from the personal. I like to go into what the actual text says. And in the Torah, it never mentions being a Jew.
By the way, sorry, you said in the book of Numbers, what verse?
Chapter 1, verse 18. This is Moses speaking to the children of Israel. And Moses told the children of Israel to declare their pedigrees through the lineage of their father and not the lineage of their mothers. Like, that's not in.
Seen them in public. After y'all built a wall for these people to keep them out of their own land, after you separated their families at the border, these people are so considerate and compassionate. They said, you know what? We gonna send our people to help them because they need help. You need to be more like Mexicans, Colombians, Peruvians, Guatemalans, all these Latinos people that y'all hate. Y'all need to be more like them, man. Straight up, shalom. Let me tell you something about Mexicans, man. Like, these people are so kind and generous.
Nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. That's right. And it's worth something.
This is Black Watch with Commanding General YAHANNA, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man he made man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
We don't need a black man in the White House. We need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. Black Watch. Let the show begin.
Clap it up. Let's get on in here tonight. Most High in Christ, Commanding General YAHANNA will be here shortly. We're going to tell you the truth tonight. If you're sick of being lied to, some of you love the feeling of lies in your ears. But if you're tired of that, tonight you can hear the truth, man. We're going to tell you the truth tonight here with Commanding General YAHANNA. We'll be here with General Mayat. Give him a hand.
Most High in Christ.
Captain Akkad Abarayan. Captain Akkad is here tonight. Give him a hand. Captain Akkad can tell you firsthand of what it was like to direct the Hebrew Academy. The Hebrew Academy, of course, was an amazing success this year. You had many faithful men step forward to keep their oath. This year, Captain Akkad can speak about what that was like under Commanding General YAHANNA. We also have Officer Marah, Officer Yediah, Officer Ibad, Officer Matamyad. And we'll go ahead and tell you the truth tonight. We're going to bring out the story about that brother who unalived this cop. because of something that white people didn't know that you had. You know, there's a thing about black people a lot that white people don't think that we possess. White people think that they're the only ones that can feel grief. They think that grief belongs to white people. They think that a broken heart is something that only white people have. So many black people go to a doctor because they have sickle cell disease or they have some type of chronic disorder and they can't ever get pain medication. The doctor won't give them pain medication because of the belief in the medical field that black people are in some way stronger than white people and our resistance to pain is stronger. They think we are just naturally built to work harder and to live a rougher life than white people do. Because of that, in the medical field, so many black people did not receive the pain medication that white people would receive easily. Because of that, white people developed an addiction to Oxycontin that did not strike the black community the way it did the white community, because they believe that we don't feel pain. Well, this week, you witnessed a father who felt pain, brother. A father who felt grief like any man. A father that would feel what any other man would feel at the loss of his child. And that happened this week, and it's a terrible thing and a sad thing. Sad enough to do something about it. Sad enough to do something so that it never happens again. We'll go over that this week. We'll give you the Israelite School of UPK's official stance on the brother who unalived that cop because he felt a father's grief over the murder of his son. We'll talk about that this week. Also, we'll go over all the other stories. Donald Trump is as stupid as he was last week. If you think he got smarter, he did not. Donald Trump is a cruel slave master, and America chose him for that reason. We're going to bring out another story that will prove to you the reason that America chose Donald Trump to be leader of this country, because he best represents the ethic of the oppressive society in America. He best represents the average oppressor in America, and that's why they chose him to be their leader. And we'll give you another story about it today, all right? Also, if you have any questions, you can simply type them into the chat, and Officer Marah, Officer Yediah will read us the questions or the comments, and we can help you out. We can give you the help you need, brothers and sisters. Please believe that. All right? Is there anything else I'm missing? Now we'll get to the stories with Officer Yediah. You have it.
Go on, sir. Got off easy. Mississippi County residents outraged over $2.5 million settlement for black men who were tortured by the sheriff's goon squad.
Oh, my goodness. You die. I remember this story. When is 2 years ago, a year ago?
Come on, 2 years ago, sir.
We did this story in here 2 years ago. There was this brother who was in a house dating a white woman, just like your preacher and your favorite black activist loves to date and have sex with white women. Just like Shannon Sharp has that fetish, and so many of your black activists have a fetish for white women. Well, this brother had the same fetish, except these police officers, these white police officers, knew that he was a black man in this house having sex with a white woman. And they raided the house unlawfully and then began to torture and abuse this black man. I don't know if you know this, but most of the lynchings that happen in America happen for that reason. I think there were about 5,000 to 8,000 lynchings that happened towards the end of the Civil War until about 1970, 1968. 5,000 to 8,000 lynchings. Most of them happened either because of voting rights or mainly because some black man was accused of having sex with a white woman. All right. And they were lynched, 5,000 to 8,000 people. Well, here we are today, 2023. Some brother is having sex with some oppressor's daughter, and police officers raid the house and torture him. I believe they stuck drills. I believe they drilled into his flesh with an electric drill. They waterboarded him, did terrible things to this black man. Well, then, of course, no one went to jail for it, Yediah. But their recourse was to sue the police in civil court, and they got $2 million. Is that correct? No. They received $2 million for torturing a black man. And of course, in America, the police have qualified immunity, so that money did not come from the police officers that tortured him. The money was paid for by the taxpayers in that city. They paid the $2 million. The police paid nothing, and I can guarantee you that those police officers are still working as police somewhere because they always are. You cannot get a cop fired no matter what, no matter how incompetent or cruel he is. What a job they must have. What a job. What do you have to do to get fired as a cop? I don't even know if you tried to get fired. I don't think you could achieve it. Well, here we go. That's this brother right here. And they beat him damn near to death because he was having sex with some slut that every white man already had sex with. And now she's trying black men just for a change of pace. And because of that, he gets tortured damn near to death. Well, they gave him $2 million of the taxpayers' money. The cops who brutalized him, they paid nothing and did not go to jail. All right? Yedaya. Please, I'll take the one about the Pope. Give me the other ones that we're not going to do until the top of the hour, all right? Go ahead.
He wants to be Pope and King. Religious leaders outraged over Donald Trump.
Picture, though, if you got it.
Khan, sir.
Picture of Trump. Read it one more time.
Khan, he wants to be Pope and King. Religious leaders outraged after Donald Trump posts AI pic of himself as Pope. Pastor Jamal Bryant demands it to be removed at once.
Cincinnati told me my sound is bad right here. Is that right? Am I reading that correctly?
You coming in good on mine.
Okay, solid. All right. No sweat. Go ahead and read it.
Khan, sir. He said he wants to be Pope and King. Religious leaders outraged after Donald Trump posts AI pic of himself as Pope. Pastor Jamal Bryant demands it to be removed at once.
Oh, listen to Pastor Jamal Bryant. He's another closeted LGBT black leader who runs some church in Atlanta, Georgia. He's mortified because Donald Trump pretended to be a pope. Donald Trump is a lunatic. He's a lunatic who was starved for attention. My God, brother. If you want to, you know how all over the internet, they talk about, things that you should do to be a man. The way that a man should behave, how a man should have honor, how a man should have dignity. If you want to truly understand how to be a man, do everything the opposite of what Donald Trump does. Donald Trump is not manly. He is not masculine. He is cowardly and self-absorbed to the extent of a mental disease. All week, everyone has been talking about the Pope, the Pope, the Pope, the Pope. The whole time, Donald Trump was jealous. He was jealous about all of the attention that the Pope was receiving. And so what did he do? This was on the White House's main page. He put this picture of an AI version of him being Pope on the main page of the White House because he was jealous of the attention the Pope was getting. This is not how men should behave. Donald Trump is just a bad example of manhood. He can't allow another man to receive any glory, even in death. The man went to the memorial over there in the memorial in Washington, D.C. for the soldiers who died and gave their lives. No, it was in France. It was the World War II memorial in Normandy, France. And as he's going through the graveyard with the gravestones of American and European heroes who fought and gave their lives to fight Adolf Hitler, he looked at the gravestones and he said, these are all suckers. Why did they even die? They gave their lives for nothing. Someone give me that story because that's a fact. That's what he said. He said, look at them. What did they die for? They died for nothing. Why? Because Donald Trump could not even stand giving glory to dead men who died for their country. He was jealous of them. Brothers and sisters, Donald Trump revealed something about our oppressor that I don't think you know. I don't think I knew it. I never knew how jealous they were of people that had so much less than them. I did not know it. Donald Trump was jealous of dead people who died in World War II. This week, Donald Trump got jealous of the Pope. The Pope is dead. The Pope is dead. But because the Pope is on the news and they're praising him and they're saying, we love him, we miss him, Donald Trump says, shit, they should make me the Pope. Am I making this up? Give me Donald Trump saying, I should be Pope. Find that and put that up on the screen because he said it. He said they should make me the Pope. Brothers and sisters, we can't use white people to be examples of manhood, of decency, of kindness. They're a terrible example to be human beings, man. And our whole history in America is us trying to pattern ourselves after white people. We want to look like them. We want to act like them. We want blue eyes and blonde hair. We want to be them when they are terrible examples of humanity. Donald Trump is the perfect example because they chose him because he best represents them. You have anything I asked for yet? Oh, it's all over the place. You just look up Donald Trump says I should be Pope. There's a video of it. He has it. Please, Captain. They need the microphone. They can't hear you.
Shalom. So he has the one where he says the soldiers were suckers.
Yeah, give me that. He said that. And then give me the one where at a press conference on a runway, he said, I should be Pope. But give me the one about him calling them suckers. Whenever you have it, you die.
Khan Wakan, sir. Khan Wakan. I have it right here. He is a coward. Trump condemned for repeatedly calling U.S. war dead suckers. Trump claims accusations confirmed by former two DHS officials are false.
Former DHS officials, they heard him say it. And then Trump said, no, I didn't say that. Two of them said he did say it because they witnessed it and heard it. Go ahead.
Conor Wisconsin says current and former members of the military, elected officials, and Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden reacted with outrage and sadness on Friday as ex-Trump administration officials confirmed key details of a bombshell report in which the president referred to fallen soldiers as suckers and losers.
Trump went to memorials of U.S. war veterans who died in World War II. He looked at the graves and said, these are all suckers. They're all suckers. Why? Because he could not stand that they were being praised on Memorial Day, Haas. It was Memorial Day, but they were getting attention. They were getting praise. Trump said, they ain't nothing but suckers. They died for their country. They're suckers. What did they die for? Keep going.
Conor Wakan. It says the Atlantic magazine published a story on Thursday in which 4 sources close to Donald Trump said he canceled a visit to pay respect at an American military cemetery outside of Paris in 2018 because he thought the dead soldiers were losers and suckers and did not want the rain to mess up his hair.
This was in the news. Everybody knew about it. They still made him president. Why? Because they don't love America. They're not patriotic. They hate America. They hate the military. They hate the fallen soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan. But they hate Mexicans most of all. And they hate black people most of all. And they elected Donald Trump because he best represents them. He best represents their hatred of blacks and Hispanics. I got a little more proof. Now, here we go this week. The Pope died. Catholics all over the world are moaning the pontificator. Right now, the Pope is up there with Biggie right now. The Pope is the Pope, Biggie. Every step you take, every breath you make. He up there with Biggie and Tupac right now. He was getting attention. This is what Trump said. Go ahead. Oh, you can't play. It's on the news, though. You can't play the news? All right. All right, no problem. Well, listen, Trump right there in that video, watch it on your own time. They said, what do you think about the Pope dying? You know, he was the great Pope and we loved him. Trump said, shit, I should be the Pope. They need to make me the goddamn Pope. You talking about the Pope? Talk about me every day, all day. Give me all the attention. He's like a teenage girl, Haas. He needs attention all the time, every day. You made him president. We didn't. You made him president because he's like you. That's how you are. You made him president. Well, that happened this week with Donald Trump. He wants to be the Pope. Yeah. He hates the soldiers that died for America.
General, how you gonna be a chief and president, and he down in the cats who died in the military? Like that's almost in the country. That's like sacrilege. You
would think, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Like how you supposed to do that? Yeah. Like General, I was in the Esau's military, but I was in the Marine Corps branch. You got the Army and the Marine Corps, right?
Of course,
And we doing the Mediterranean float, right? They made us stop in one of the beaches in Normandy, right, to replicate us hitting the D-Day. So we did it, and them cats was like elated to do it. You understand? It was like you just seen the look on their face, like damn, I hit the beach with my ancestors today. Talk about the ones that died in it, and they are you kidding me? Oh my goodness gracious, Jimmy.
This story came out before the election.
Is that what?
Yeah, this is before the election,
and they voted him in.
There you go.
God, listen,
I got nothing to say to him.
Look, they knew he was a draft dog. They knew he avoided the war, made excuses before he became president. They knew he cheated on taxes, ain't like to pay American taxes. They knew he talked mess about John McCain, with him being a prisoner of war. That. And so all of that, like he do so many things to show he's so unpatriotic when it comes to America. But like you say, like the churches, if the reverends is nasty, all the church members is nasty too. Like I used to think and say, man, all them poor people following that snake. You come to find out, them people in there singing and dancing as snakes too. And just like America, they put this criminal in, this nasty rapist, this unpatriotic, un-American white man because they are unpatriotic white people. Slack.
That's the fact he just brought out just now, huh? He told the truth on Donald Trump just now.
Yeah.
He told the truth on the American electorate. They voted for him because they are racist above all things. Racist above the economy. Racist above everything. Racism trumps every flaw that Donald Trump had. He was good with racism, and that's why they chose him to be president. Well, make him your pope too. Make him your pope. Make him a god.
God damn. Malakwa said, he reminded me, he said John McCain was in hell. Like America supposed to go riot against Trump after something like that.
Remind everybody, John McCain was this cat who went to the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
He was a pilot. He got shot down over, I forget the name of that place. North Vietnam. He got shot down. He was put in a tiger cage for 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years. Now, tiger cage, now think about the height of a tiger.
Yeah.
Like in a zoo, like a tiger cage in a zoo for 5 years, which is like being inside of a small square.
Yep.
He was in the square for so goddamn long, Haas, he couldn't stretch his arm out.
Yeah.
So his arm only went to this height because this was the height of the cage.
Yeah.
So he could only lift his arm like this.
Yeah.
Because for 5 years, the muscles atrophied because he didn't have enough room to stretch his arms out.
Yep.
So when he got out of Vietnam, he could only lift his arms up. Let me make it worse for you. His father was a senator, John McCain. So the Viet Cong came to him and said, listen, we'll let you out if your government gives us one of our high-value prisoners.
Right.
We'll do a prisoner exchange. We'll let you out because your father is a senator. John McCain said no. He refused to be released and said, instead, release one of my fallen other soldiers.
Right.
And he refused to leave and told another soldier, go in my place. And he stayed in that cage 3 more years. 3 more years he was in that cage. He got out. He ran for Senate. His arms can't go above his head. He was running against John McCain to be president. Donald Trump was. Donald Trump said, why are we praising John McCain? I like winners. I don't like people that get caught.
Right.
People that get caught are suckers. They voted for Donald Trump. They chose him instead of John McCain. And it's something that you don't want to know about white people. You don't want to notice about them because you're not going to have a good Christmas if this is in your mind. Yeah. You're not going to have a good 4th of July. You're not going to be able to pray to Jesus because he looks just like him, right? You're not going to be able to go to church. But white people are inherently cruel. That's just it. Yeah. And if I know a pit bull is more apt to bite me than a poodle, I should know that white people are more apt and prone for cruelty. I don't know why it's even considered racist. It's not considered a doggist to say that's a pit bull. I want to watch him around my kid. But that little golden retriever, he's all right. Why can't I know the same thing about white people? Yeah. Why is that wrong? Yeah. I think it's self-preservation. I would assume, well, white people saw something in Donald Trump they liked. And I know just what they saw. Yeah. I know what they saw. Yeah. Is there anything else? Please?
Yeah, and General, listen, also, too, for everybody out there that's listening, right? You have to understand what General Muhammad breaking down is biblical. What he's saying to you is in Genesis, the 25th chapter, about Jacob and Esau. It started back then. And a plot to kill Jacob from Esau. And it started in the womb. They were twins. And they struggled within the womb. You understand me? That's who they are. That's their heritage, man. Give me the scripture real fast, Jedi, because I want to show you what the Bible says about him and describe him to a T. If there's any wonder in your mind or any doubt in your mind about who this man is, the Bible gives you clarity on who he is. A true description of this man and his ancestors. You also can reference this here with the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. When you look up Esau, look up Edom, you know what I mean? It gives you more about who they are. Yeah. And listen, let me tell you something. The Zondervan Bible Dictionary is written by scholars.
Yes, it is.
What scholars? Edomite scholars. Mm-hmm. Who was the Edomite? White man. He wrote that dictionary about himself, in essence. You understand me? Yeah. You got it for me out? Read, come on with it, brother.
Con, sir, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 25. Mm-hmm. And the first came out red. All over like a hairy garment.
Red all over like a hairy garment. What is that talking about? That's talking about our oppressor. Now, whether here in England, whether here in America, whether here in Germany, whether here in Russia, whether here in Australia, whether here in Canada, it's all the same person. It's all the same people who it is. Who we're talking about. You understand? Drop down where it says, no, keep on going.
Con. And they called his name Esau.
Called his name Esau. Now, take Esau, get you a Zondervan Bible Dictionary and look him up. It's going to give you a description of who he is to this day. We'll tell you more about it. Any more?
Con, sir. On. I'm going to drop down to verse 27.
Yeah, come on.
Verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
He was a what?
A cunning hunter.
This cat know how to hunt. You understand me? He know how to hunt. That's why when all y'all do crime, you think you're getting away. He come find you. He come knock the door down. Bada! You downstairs the basement, hide in the corner of a wall, and he tear the wall down to get you. He a cunning hunter, man. You understand me? He's so cunning that when he go hunt deer, he created a deer piss, so he sprayed on them. So when a deer walk in the woods, the deer can't smell you, but it smell the piss he put on himself. That's a cunning hunter, man. That's who he is. Go ahead.
A man of the field.
I'm always in the woods. Whether it's hiking, rock climbing, camping, you understand? Always in the woods. That's him. You understand? They got trail cameras to watch everything going on right now in the woods. That's him. Go ahead. Is that it? All right, that's it, y'all. So I just want to give y'all that to know who we talking about. You got to know the history of the Bible, man. Y'all stop playing. That Christian church and lies, well, you ain't got to learn the Bible. The Bible is just a book of metaphors, XYZ. Bullshit. It's a book of historical records. And it tells you about all the nations on the earth. And it tells you about this man you're looking at right here, the oppressor, who he is, and why he has such a deep hatred for us. Why he had such a deep hatred for the Mexicans, the blacks, the Spanish, Native Indians. Why? Because they even sucked in their mother's womb. In the womb, they was fighting. This is where it comes from. The water just like I give you.
Let me give you what Malakwat reminded me of something right here, Hazmayat. He said that when Donald Trump died, a reporter asked him about it. He said, when John McCain died, they asked Donald Trump, what do you want to say about, John McCain dying? Donald Trump said he's in hell right now. That's what Donald Trump said about John McCain. Also, apocalyptic hunter, apocalyptic minister reminded me of another thing. Donald Trump's birthday is in May. On Donald Trump's birthday, they're going to have a military parade like in Russia, like they do in North Korea, when they have the jets and the missiles and the people marching like this shit here down the street. They're having a military parade in Washington, D.C. for Donald Trump's birthday, a man who is a draft dodger. Donald Trump was drafted into the Vietnam War and got a dismissal because he had bad feet, corns and bunions on his feet, on his foot.
General, sir, if I could.
Please.
How you having a military parade like you just talked about the dad ones who died in the war?
And he dodged the draft. He got drafted and didn't go. They said, why ain't he going? He got a note from a doctor, Haas, like you do it when you're in high school or when you're in grade school. Like you do to miss a test in high school. He got a note from a doctor that said his feet hurt. By the way, his father was a cajillionaire. Just to add that information to you. His father was a cajillionaire. And he did not go. And they're going to give him a parade with tanks and missiles and stealth bombers. You like something about Donald Trump, and I know what it was. Racism. That's what you like about Donald Trump. That's why you made him president. You died.
Oh, if I could, sir, what you're saying is so heavy. His right-hand man and best friend, Elon Musk, is another draft dodger.
Jesus Christ.
He left.
Elon Musk is a South African Nazi, an apartheid baby.
Yep.
Elon Musk got drafted into the military in South Africa, left and ran to America because he refused to join the South African military. Left, flee South Africa, fleeing the draft in because in South Africa it's like Israel, the country of Israel. Everyone has to serve 2 years at a certain time.
Yeah.
When his time came up, he went to San Francisco and left. That's correct, you died. That's who you want. Oh, I think I know. I see something in your leaders. They're just like you. They're hateful animals. They're selfish. They're greedy, and you love it like that. I got more proof, I came here tonight with proof. That's all I ever do. If someone likes to challenge it, you're welcome to. You're welcome to prove me wrong. I don't see how you could, Captain.
So what you said was so heavy because I'm listening. So Donald Trump gonna get a straight military parade for his birthday, but he dodged the draft, but he's president for a country he wouldn't even die for.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. And that is how white people are. White people want all the money in the world, but they don't want to pay anything to get it.
Yeah.
They don't want to suffer for it.
Yeah.
They don't want to do anything for it. They want it handed to them because they think that they're supposed to have it. General Mayak.
No, I was listen, and they rather than be in competition and really compete to really earn their riches, they'll rather just burn down your businesses. You know what I'm saying? Or forge your deeds or murder your family. That's how they get power. They ain't gonna fight for it. They ain't gonna really do what it takes to really work and earn this by the sweat of their brow. No. They destroy for what they have.
Let me get one more Donald Trump story that we can get to right now, you die. The one about the pencils and crayons and dolls. I was waiting until you hear this right here. Lord, I'm sick of this cat here. I knew I was going to be sick of him election night.
And he talks so dumb, like he ain't even part of the world. Like he don't even live on the earth.
No, he's not part of human society.
Right. Like people, they get their what they call it, groceries. Groceries is a wonderful term. So what the fuck is
where food come from or how clothes is purchased or nothing.
God.
Check this one out, Mayak. Listen to this one. Go ahead, you die.
Khan. Donald Trump said a baby girl doesn't need so many dolls. He also said 5 pencils are enough.
Donald Trump grew up more rich than you could possibly even fathom in your imagination. And so now, because of tariffs, right? If you need me to, I can explain tariffs to you. Some brothers and sisters don't understand tariffs. If you need me to, let me know, and I'll explain tariffs to you and why tariffs are so stupid if you're America. It's an idiotic thing to do to establish a tariff war when you're America. It's insane. If not, I'll move on, right? Well, anyway, because of tariffs, of course, now China provides damn near everything around you, everything on this table, all these cameras and lights and TVs, everything in your house that you in right now comes from China, everything. But now America is in a trade war with China, so China is not going to send America goods. 99% of the toys that are in the stores come from China. 99%. So they went to Donald Trump, and they know Christmas is around the corner. Well, Donald Trump, what are the kids going to do this year for Christmas? Because the shelves are going to be bare. because everything that we have comes from China. Here's his response. Now go ahead and play it, please.
Cabinet meeting, you said, quote, I'm going to quote what you said, maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30.
Yeah.
And maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally. Are you saying that your tariffs will cause some prices to go up?
No, I think the tariffs are going to be great for us because it's going to make us rich.
But you said some dolls are going to cost more. Isn't that an acknowledgement that some prices will go up?
I don't think a beautiful baby girl that's 11 years old needs to have $30. I think they can have $3 or $4 because what we were doing with China was just unbelievable. We had a trade deficit of hundreds of billions of dollars with China.
When you say they could have $3 instead of $30, are you saying Americans could see empty store shelves?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they don't need to have $30. They can have 3. They don't need to have 250 pencils. They can have 5.
You said this week got a lot of attention. You were at your cabinet meeting. You said, quote, I'm going to quote what you said.
Stop right there, huh? Lord have mercy. Ooh, it must be amazing to be white. I mean, to be white must be just an amazing gift. Haas, they voted somebody into president to give your kids less toys, for you to have less money, for you to have less pencils. This cat who grew up on a goddamn island with a helicopter. You were getting on a school bus. Donald Trump, as a child, rode a helicopter to school. He's so dumb, I guarantee he never took a test in his life. He read the Bible. He said, I love the Bible. I love 2 Corinthians, 1 Corinthians. That's a real thing, he said. He said, I love 1 Timothy. They said, Donald Trump, what's your favorite book in the Bible? He said, oh, I love 1 Timothy, 2 Corinthians. I love them all. They're all beautiful. That cat didn't go to college. He didn't take a test. Someone took those tests for him. He never had to do anything. He becomes president, ruins your Christmas. He's going to ruin your goddamn Christmas. He's going to ruin your barbecues. He's going to tell you, you don't need $30. You see how he said you don't need $30? Because in that house he was in, they had $30.
Oh,
bro.
yeah, guaranteed.
You understand? Like in his mind, why you need $30? Because his sister had $30 under her tree. So he's like, y'all don't need 30 like you usually get.
Right.
All you need is 2. Goddamn, Haas. Remember we used to have a crayon set with the 64 colors?
Yep.
The young brothers don't know what I'm talking about, Haas.
I remember.
Haas, they had the 64 colors in there.
Yep.
They had the sharpener, Haas.
Yes, sir.
You could sharpen them.
Yes, sir.
That you made a man president gonna get rid of all your crayons. You ain't gonna get your 64 pack anymore, Haas. You getting 5. You're going to get 5 crayons instead of that big good pack you looking for with 64. You telling me you made him president to get less crayons, to get less toys, to have less food, to have less money? Who in the hell would do that?
Right.
I thought presidents got elected to create jobs. I thought a president got elected so you could have a big Christmas. So you could have cars with a bow on top. And to get toys and to get the biggest Christmas in the world. You white people made a man president to ruin Christmas.
God.
Take away your toys. You are cruel and stupid and ignorant. And this is why you should have judges and a king rule over you.
Yep.
You need that because you cannot choose a leader because you'll match your own cruelty and find a leader that represents that. You'll find someone to make people more poor. To make people more poor. Now, here he is now. You're going to sit there. You love Donald Trump. You're going to go ahead and let your kids make them pictures with 5 crayons. Go ahead. Let your kids going to have 2 crayons trying to draw and go to school and do projects with 2 measly ass crayons.
And them 5 pencils going to break the first 2 weeks. 5 pencils.
I forget.
Listen, and the thing is, General, after all that, saying, well, they're going to go down to 2 pencils, go down to $2. After all that, he say, but it's going to make us rich. He said that at the end of every statement. Listen, I wonder who the us is.
He ain't right. I ain't got nothing but 2 crayons over here.
Right.
I'm sitting there with 2 crayons trying to draw something for my kids' project. I got 2 goddamn crayons.
Right.
He's talking about us. He's talking about him and Elon.
Of course he is. He's talking about him and Elon going to have more crayons than eyelashes and hairs on your head. Please, Mathemia.
Oh, God. Someone in the chat brought up someone had Metro EV Charge LLC. So when people can't get food and supplies and they raise hell, what is he going to do? What is he going to do?
He's going to say, y'all don't need 25 turkeys. Just drink water. Eat water. You can eat water now when you freeze it.
What?
Have a water salad. Freeze the water. What's those ice chips they give you in the hospital?
Crushed ice.
You're in the hospital, might to give you those good ice chips.
That crushed ice. The crushed ice.
They're going to make a dish called water salad. That's your water salad. Ice chips. Go ahead, Mike. What do you want to say?
I was gonna say, why do you need a Christmas tree? I mean, it's so big. Get a branch. Get a Christmas branch. Throw a ball on a branch.
You don't know who should lead you. Here's the good news of the Bible, though. Jesus Christ is going to lead you whether you like it or not.
That's right.
Whether you want him to lead or not, because ye be blind leaders of the blind. You don't know who should lead. Both of you are stupid. So you should not choose your leader. God has already chosen your leader. Mm-hmm. You understand, Mayak? All right, let's go ahead. Throw out it. Any other thing I need to go on in the chat room? Who's in the chat room right here? The worthy Joshua 12. We're going back to powdered milk. I remember that. Jesus Christ.
It actually was good, dude.
Powdered milk. Listen, I ain't gonna say it was good. Huh?
No, I
like it. Strong stomach, man.
Yes, sir.
I can't call it good now. I'd rather have it than putting that water on that cereal like we used to. That was better. But goddamn, that cheese went on everything, huh?
The big block cheese?
Oh, how's the big block cheese? Yeah, Donald Trump gonna say, look, I gave you cheese. What's your problem? Cheese, everything. Everything on cheese. A giant block of cheese. Like 2 yards of cheese.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead, the brother right here, Joshua. Am I missing something else? Right, powdered milk. Right, he got it right here. That's what Tazaliah said. Powdered milk, cheese. Oh my goodness. They getting it on. Metro EV, Change LLC, Adolphus Last, Uncommon Sense, Princess Nazima Anna, Apocalyptic Minister. Y'all getting it on out there. Well done. You got any questions or comments? Just type them in the chat. Go ahead.
I agree with your rib, General. That cheese wasn't so bad.
I can say that about the cheese. The cheese was good. You couldn't front on the cheese. You could make that macaroni and cheese with that cheese. Melted on that bread, right? It got a poor man through the night. I'll give you that much, Maya. Go ahead.
Quinta Brunson files for divorce from Jay Anik after 3 years of marriage.
Here we go, you die. Here we go. Let me see Quinta Brunson up there on the screen. Wait, first give me some comments or statements. We don't have anything about Quinta Brunson talking about how the struggle of being a black actress in Hollywood. Show us who Quinta Brunson is. Quinta Brunson is this black woman who is she is the producer or writer or owner of a TV show called what? Abbott Elementary. You ever heard that before? This is the TV show. Wow, it's very popular among the young blackity blacks. Oh, yeah? It's based in Philadelphia. It's called Abbott Elementary. It's been on for some years, I think 5 or 6 years right now. Oh, wow. We got a picture yet? Miraz finding it for you, all right? And so she's very popular. I've heard her speak many times about being a black actress in Hollywood and the struggles of being black and wanting to put a positive image. Quinta Brunson said the reason that she made Abbott Elementary is because she didn't see positive images of black people on TV. Have you ever heard them say that before you die? Where they be like, there's no positive images of black people on TV. So I made this TV show to represent my people in a way that they don't usually see themselves. Mm-hmm. Well, this week, Quinta Brunson got a divorce. Let's see her husband. You don't have any of this, right? Quinta Brunson is married, of course, to a white man. That's her right there. She's married to a white man. Quinta Brunson.
So what you talking about?
She's a hypocrite, Haas. You ever heard of them before?
Yeah, I heard of them.
Yeah, she's a stinking hypocrite. You have to understand this about celebrity and intellectual black people in social media and on TV. They are black at work, but not black at home. They're professionally black. You understand?
Yeah.
They're black like the way that a person is a plumber. You know, they go home, they go to work, they're a plumber. They go home, they laying down. They don't want to work on their own pipes. You understand? Quinta Brunson. What's the other one on In Living Color? What's her name? The dark-skinned one on In Living Color. The young brothers don't know what In Living Color is, do y'all? In Living Color? That was a very popular show. Mathumya, you know what I'm talking about? Well, you remember that dark-skinned one on In Living Color? She's another one. I'm going to her next. That's Quinta Brunson and her husband, like she married a hobbit. That's her husband. Well, she got divorced from him this week. Yediah has the rest of the story. Go ahead.
So what's the point of marrying a cat if you're going to divorce him?
Well, I think I can explain.
I mean, that is okay. I know, General.
You know why?
But goddamn. All right, that's okay. It's bad she married either, right? We got it. But what's the whole point of doing the whole marriage if you're going to divorce a couple years later?
Well, most people do that, huh?
Don't they say they wedding vows? They say, well, for what's that shit? What they say for good times and bad times, some more bullshit. So what the fuck y'all doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, what's the point of this here?
It's stupid. It's trying to be like white people, Haas. That's all. That's all. So many of you brothers, you know how many battles I've been in my life, Haas, with somebody who doesn't believe that sex is marriage.
Right.
We disagree about marriage.
Right.
You know what battle I've never been in? Is someone who doesn't agree with divorce.
Right.
I have never been in that battle in my life.
Right.
I have never been in a battle with someone that said, I don't believe in divorce. Ever.
Right.
Not one time. Right. And I've been in the truth since 95.
That's right,
you know how many marriage battles I'm in?
Yeah.
Sex ain't marriage. You got to have a ring to be married. You got to have this to be married. This is marriage. Not many people believe in marriage, but everyone believes in divorce, Haas. Everybody. They all do. All of the fake Israelites, the Christians, the Muslims, they all believe in divorce. If I was you, I'd worry more about whether or not the bitch believes in divorce, because that's the one that's going to get you.
Yep.
Reading on to Quinta Brunson.
Hold up.
Go ahead.
She got money, don't she?
Oh, Haas. Yes, plenty.
Oh, he gonna get paid. He about to get paid.
He's telling the truth now. Go ahead, Yediah.
Khan, sir, says the Abbott Elementary star filed petition for dissolution of marriage on Thursday in a Los Angeles courthouse, citing irreconcilable differences as grounds for divorce did not specify a date of separation.
Keep going.
The petition also confirms that Bronson and Anik entered into a post-prenuptial agreement which governs the disposition of their property. The pair was engaged in 2020 and they wed in 2021 and do not share any children.
She has no children with him, Haas, at all. Let me read to me, please, Yediah, how much money she's going to have to pay this white man. He'll find that for you. They had an agreement. A post-prenuptial means after they got married, then they sat down and said, listen, if this ends, I'll give you this much money. So now sometimes that agreement can be honored. Sometimes they'll fight and they won't honor that agreement. And the judge will decide to forget that agreement. In California, you know, sometimes they just don't care. Sometimes they do. You got to battle it out in court. But there's an amount that she has to pay this white man while she talks about how black she is every day on Abbott Elementary. You don't have it, Yediah? Someone in the chat will have it and look it up for us. Or Mathumya, anybody who has it. She's got to pay this white man money every month. She has to give this white man with all of that blackity black nonsense. And let that be a lesson for you people that think that your marriage is bad because you married a black man. That's what you think. You think you got a terrible marriage because niggas ain't shit and I married this nigga from the hood. White people get divorced too, sweetie.
That's right.
All the time. White people also have bad lives. The rain rains on them too. I know as a black person, you think white people marriages are just, you know, candy and they never break up. They only have good marriages. A white man is going to leave you too. He's going to leave you like anybody else leaves you, because here's the secret. I'm going to say it low so no one hears me. Nobody can stand being around you. Everyone hates you once they get to know you because you're a bitch. And no one wants to be next to you, eat with you in the morning. And when you're asleep, they're staring at you, thinking how they can kill you. And they think, I better leave her before I kill her. That's the truth of you. watermelon.
Vodka.
That's the truth of who you are.
I'm on.
It's better than killing you. That's what the nigga say. The nigga say he got a pillow in his hand thinking about putting it on your face. And he says, you know what? I better get a divorce before I go to jail forever. Because I can't look at this bitch eat or watch Real Housewives of Atlanta one more day. And so he leaves you. Quinta Brunson got left too. Anybody have the money? No go? The brothers will find it out. She got to pay this idiot alimony. She's going to pay him alimony. Holly Berry, they got her for a ton of cash. Woo. Holly Berry got left by a couple of white men. And you might be able to more easily find Holly Berry's numbers. Ooh, these white men got Holly Berry for every penny she has. Holly Berry thought, you know, when she was having fights with Wesley Snipes and that baseball player, she thought it was her choice in race of man that was the reason the marriage wasn't working out. So she went and married the bluest, blonde-haired white boy she could find, and he left her too. Go ahead, Yediah.
Halle Berry has to pay $8,000 a month. Huh? $8,000 a month. That's a lot.
$8,000 a month. God damn. $8,000 a month. She thought she was allegedly getting hit by Wesley Snipes, arguing with Alex Rodriguez. She said, you know what? I got to choose a different race of man. That's how I'm going to get a good man. I'm going to stop dealing with these niggas in SPICs and get a white man. She's giving him $8,000 a month right now. A white man who did not grow up in the hood, who had a mother and father and what came from a professional home. She's giving him $8,000 every month. I think that teaches you something, but I know it won't. Yeah. Why? Because you have such an insatiable urge to be white that every problem in your life, you're going to attribute it to the fact that you married or had sex with a black man, that your baby's mother is Hispanic. You'll think all your problems will be erased if you could find your way into the white household. If you could get somebody white to sleep with you, then I'll have a good marriage. You're going to pay $12,000 a month. That's after you make it. That's after your dreams come true. Yediah.
Sir, if I may,
please.
The total number from all of Halle Berry's ex-husbands and exes, she's paid over $20 million. Go
ahead. You know, sooner or later, it's not the race of man that you're with. It's you. Yeah. It's that everyone that gets to know you grows to hate you because you have a terrible personality. That's it. I'm trying to save you some money. Please, Yediah. Please. Go ahead. We might need the video. Let's show them the video if we need to. Make everybody aware of what happened. You want to go to the main one? Yeah, let's go to the main one, right? 10 o'clock? Or you want, unless we should go to the, we need to wait for Commander General YAHANNA? We'll keep going? Okay, then let's just do the main one now, right? The main one would be this brother, Yediah.
An Ohio deputy fatally struck by a man whose son had been shot by police.
This is a terrible thing, Haas. This brother I believe that he was involved in some type of car chase with the cops, right? He was involved in a car chase. He jumped out the car. He went and ran behind, I think, a dumpster. The police gave chase on foot. The police saw him behind the dumpster on an alleyway, something like that, and they unalived this young kid. They killed him. There's been different reports on whether he had a weapon, whether he didn't have. Nobody even really knows. It's hard to even find out now the specifics of how they killed this brother. Well, this brother had a father. And the day after his son was killed, he saw a cop doing traffic work, like in the street directing traffic. And allegedly he ran over this cop and unalived this cop. And he was arrested for unaliving this cop. And I'm going to show you the video of when he came for arraignment. All right. Also hold the Bundy Ranch for me. All right. If you can play the video, Murad, go ahead. All right.
No bond until Tuesday when we'll review the statute for a continuing no bond under these unusual and very tragic and terrible circumstances. where will the defendant be housed, and will he be safe? And I asked that because he was transferred.
And this is the arraignment hearing. At the end of the arraignment hearing, which was normal, right, to every other arraignment hearing, because of
and you have a safe environment for him there.
Because a cop was killed, all the cops came down to look him in the face, which is normal whenever a cop gets killed, right? Marab will fast forward and just get that part of the clip, all right? So, and all the police officers stared at him in the face, which is also normal, except this brother stared them back in the face and looked at them, and it struck most of Black and Hispanic society, because Black and Hispanic society felt pity and they sided with this brother's pain because they understood that if he did this act, they understood why.
He's looking at him.
Go ahead, Marab, play it
right
again.
In the face. He put his chin up like, yeah.
Play at normal speed if you could. Play it again.
Thank you, yo.
Pause. Let me show you another thing, Hodge. You see that sister right there? That's a cop right there, Hodge.
She didn't even look at him. She turned her head.
Listen, that sister who was a cop, she's standing in that line with the rest of the cops. And she was so ashamed to be standing with those white cops. She was ashamed. Look at her right there. She was ashamed of it. Ashamed to be there, Haas. You know why, Haas? Because she also understands. She also feels a father's pain. This is something that our oppressor doesn't understand, because our oppressor thinks that we don't have feelings. They think we're just tough, strong muscles. We don't feel pain. We can live in neighborhoods that they could never live in. We can live in apartments and jail cells that they could never take. They think we're strong, Haas. They think we don't cry over the death of our children. They think we're not sad when we lose our sons. And times like this, they're shocked to see that we're just fathers like anybody else. We're fathers like any other man is a father. Like any other woman loves her children, we love ours. And at times like this, they don't understand it. They don't. But some people will. And let me give you the official stance of the Israelite School of UPK. This brother that committed this act, if he did commit it, he was wrong. He should not have done this. It's wrong. When you take revenge, you steal God's judgment from him.
Sir.
The Bible says this: vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. God sits in judgment, and it is unlawful for you to take revenge in your own hands. But everyone of any race that hears about this story, you should know that this mistake was made because of grief. Grief is a terrible thing. It's a demon. It's like a monster to have grief. And if you felt it before, if you've lost a child, brothers and sisters in this school have lost children up, lost babies that they cradled and loved and changed their diapers, and that child died at a young age. And grief is so terrible that it's unbearable for flesh to take it. And sometimes when it happens, you'll do something that you shouldn't do. But everyone of every race should feel sorry for this father of any race. White people should feel sorry for him. All races should, because this man made a mistake, the same mistake that so many of us could make, if not for God's help.
You know,
how
the same mistake they say cops make when they pull the trigger, they ain't supposed to. They say it was, you know, it's a mistake. He shouldn't have done what he done. I mean, it's the same thing, to be honest. And I listen, for people who are going to say what you're going to say, I want to say something to you, but I've been on both sides. I grew up in the ghetto and grew up in the hood in the Southwest. I grew up, I've been a part of, you know, cops talking trash, abusing you, and I was in the law enforcement. I've seen both sides of the coin. So I can speak on it and what's going on. Okay, really, a lot of unaliving they do because of adrenaline rush. You make a split decision, and really, you should have been trained better, or you should never have been on the job. I've been in situations like this here, General. I seen it happen where they caught the cats in the middle of 30th Street. You know where 30th Street Station is, right? From 31st to 30th, right there. Right underneath, they got the train station going across, a little bit behind it. They caught 2 cats that was running from them on the expressway. Like this high-speed chase. It's the same thing. They caught them. And I mean, in front of everybody. You hear me? In front of everybody. They had that brother in the back seat. And either my cat was in the back of the car. All you heard was, and he hollered, ah! He in cuffs. Me and my man pull up in the wagon. I'm like, yo, man, the brother's in the front seat like this here. He ain't saying, I said, what the hell y'all doing, man? I said, listen, man, I can't. I'm saying to myself, like, I can't. I said, all right, I got to figure out a way to stop this shit. I said, yo, we got cameras right here, right here, right here, right here. You're going to be in trouble. You know that, right? He ain't saying nothing. I said, listen, if you don't pull your man off that bull, I'm going to come do it. I'm telling you right now. So then he looked at me, and it took me like 5 seconds to get out the car, and he pulled him off of him, like, yo, we got to stop. And in my mind, I'm saying, okay, I understand that part about the chase. I've been in chases. I done chase cats. Foot, cars, whole nine, right? But when it's done, it's done. You got to stop. And they don't feel no compassion for you when it's on, because that adrenaline rush, General, that shit is rough. And them cats can't control it. You ain't looked at as you're not looked at as human. Yeah. They damn near see you like they see them cats over in Afghanistan. That's damn near how they treat you in the ghetto and the bottom of reservations where they chasing you. You like one of them. And when they catch you, you got to take the punishment for even disobeying them. And they give it to you. That's what's going on. They don't feel nothing for that, man. But when it happened to one of them, it's like all of a sudden, it's like, okay, be one of the good guys. Yeah. And you did something to one of the good guys. I done been on both sides of the fence, Joe. Yeah. And this shit is horrible. You understand? It's horrible, man. You know what I mean? If you're wondering why this cat got so much grief, I mean, what he did was wrong, like General Hyman said, but yo, like, y'all got to stop murdering us, man. Like, cats is tired of getting murdered. Cats is tired of just saying when they see cops and they feel like they're going to get murdered, they're getting tired of it. It's getting to be the point that they're getting tired of it. And y'all don't see it because you don't see it as human. That's why. That sister, she knew this shit was shameful. So why she didn't even look. She was like, I shouldn't even be here. Because it's shameful to even be in a position. You understand what I'm saying? It's like it. So that's
yeah, man. He's telling the truth. I mean, how maybe we're just as fragile as them. Yeah. Right? Maybe we're human beings. Yep. Maybe we have emotions. Maybe we mourn for our children the way you do. Yep. Maybe we're sad. Maybe we make mistakes because of emotions, especially the emotion of grief, which is like a dragon in your soul when you've lost your child. Children ought not to outlive, parents ought not to outlive their children. That's wrong. It's against nature and the way of things for a parent to outlive its child. Every parent that has ever had a child, all you want is for that child to outlast you. Everything you do with that baby is geared to that. You're teaching him how to walk, teaching him how to talk, teaching him what not to eat and what to eat so he can survive. That's what you want. And to lose your child and for someone to take your child, well, to some people, it's a grief they can't bear. And every man and woman of every race should understand. Now, here's my question. What do you do now? Is this a good thing? It's a terrible thing. It's horrible. I don't want brothers to go out and kill cops because the police refuse to stop killing their children. I don't want that to happen. And so I'm going to give you a solution. If you think this is a terrible thing, and if you think things like this should never happen, I will give you the 2 things that must happen so that things like this will never happen again. For those of you out there, if you feel sorry for this brother and you don't want him to go to jail, I'll tell you what has to happen. If you feel sorry for the cop that got murdered, if you think the cop that got murdered was not the cop that killed his son, it was just a cop that was in front of him. Yep. If you feel sorry for that police officer, I will give you the 2 things that must happen so that something like this can never happen again. And then you tell me if you're willing to do it. Here's the first thing. The first thing that has to happen, if you do not want people to take the law into their own hands, Blacks and Hispanics must get justice. Without justice, the people will seek revenge for themselves. You have to give them justice. There has to be a way for the righteous to get justice when the wicked kills them. If the police are never going to receive justice, and you know no cop is ever going to get convicted, no cop is ever going to be punished when he kills your children, then the thoughts in your heart will take over, because you'll know there's no justice for my son unless I take it for myself. Blacks and Hispanics have to get justice when they're killed by the police or anyone. They have to receive justice, or else they're going to do this again. Here's the last thing that has to happen. Here's the last thing that everyone needs when they're going through grief, when they're going through a loss. You know what everyone needs? Besides justice, they need friends, brother. Friendship. The Bible says this, brother. There was a man named Job who lost all of his children, every last one. And his friends came and sat with him by a fire for 7 days. And they did not say a word because his grief was such a burden. They were silent and they sat with him. A brother that does something like this, when he loses his child, he doesn't have friends. He doesn't have brothers, carnales. He doesn't have them. And so because when you don't have friends and you're going through grief, then it's just you and your pain. That's it. It's just you and your pain. It's you and the feeling of someone that took your little boy. And when someone takes your child out, you don't see him as a 20-year-old or a 19-year-old. No. You see the baby that you had as a child. That's what you see in your mind. To this day, if I dream about my children, I see them as little kids in my dreams. Captain Ariel today, if I have a dream about him, he's a baby. He sits on my lap in my dream. Sometimes he's driving a car and everything. But he's 5. You understand? He gets behind it when he's driving a car. Come on, Yaya. I call him Yaya when he was a baby. But he's 5 and he's driving a car and he's going to school, but he's 5. I see my daughters, they're little, tiny little babies going to school, coming back, getting on the bus. Because in a parent's mind, the child is always a baby. Well, they took his baby. And if he knows that no court will ever convict him, and if he doesn't have a friend to sit with him by the fire, then he'll have no choice but to do what he did. We're going to need to give people justice, or else they're going to get it themselves. And when a brother is going through grief, if you have a best friend out there, brother, if someone that you love and they're going through a cancer diagnosis, they lost their child, they're going through terrible things, go through it with them. Be with them. The Bible says, cry with them that mourn. Cry with them that mourn. Because a man going through this kind of grief needs friends. Now, if we can have those two things, if a cop commits an evil act, and if it's a crime, a cop should expect to receive justice, and a fallen son should expect that the man who killed him will receive justice. Then now a father can hold his anger off because he knows that the court system will give him justice. And while he's waiting for the court system to give him justice, his friends will sit with him by the fire. They'll be with him. They'll stand by his side. And then God will deliver judgment unto the wicked. I pray you understand. Okay, that's it with that. That's the breakdown on that. Now you got that. Take that on the street, all right? Let me get another story unless someone else wanted to say something.
That's a rough one here, Jim. That's a rough one here to swallow. Because he has to know that he done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a rough one to swallow.
Well, you just reminded me of one other thing that has to happen.
Yes, sir.
Can I show you one last thing that has to happen?
Yes, sir.
General Mayak?
Yes, sir.
You want to say something?
No, you go ahead, General.
Can I show you one? There's one last aspect. This brother's going to court now, right? He's in trial. This is his arraignment right here. He has a trial that's coming up. Let me show you another trial that happened. Maral, let me know when you have it up on the screen. There was a crime that happened a little while ago called the Bundy Ranch incident. I don't know if brothers and sisters out there remember this. It was the incident at the Bundy Ranch. The Bundy Ranch is this big giant ranch, right? This farm owner was delinquent on his taxes. He hadn't paid his taxes in years. He owed the federal government $1 million in back taxes. The federal government came to confiscate his cows because he refused to move the cows off of the land that now was being confiscated by the federal government. If you've ever had a home, if you've ever been evicted from a home, that's what happened. If you don't pay your rent, you don't pay your mortgage, The sheriff comes in and they remove you from the home. Well, the Bundy Ranch was this giant ranch, and this farmer and his family were ordered to be evicted from the farm. They refused. They brung AR-15 and guns out and put guns on federal agents that tried to get them off that land. And they held the federal agents down at gunpoint for weeks. Finally, the federal agents arrested them, and they went on trial. Marad, do we have it yet? Yes, sir. Please, whenever you're ready, put it up on the screen, all right? This is the incident at the Bundy Ranch.
Who engaged in a standoff with federal agents over grazing rights on their land. Patty Carlson on Facebook recently asked us about Eamon Bundy, who, along with his brother and father, is on trial right now in Las Vegas. National correspondent William Lajeunesse shows us.
I've tried to fight it legally, and I've tried to fight it politically, but we got one more fight. We, the people, haven't fought yet.
In the spring of 2014, Nevada rancher Cliven Bundy claimed he was under attack by federal agents who wanted to seize his cattle and take his land. During the weeks-long standoff, federal agents tased Bundy's son Eamon and forced Cliven's sister to the ground.
We will not give up our land!
Hundreds of protesters answered his call. Heavily armed, they forced dozens of federal agents to stand down. More than 3 years later, in federal court, prosecutors argue Bundy tried to incite a range war. He is on trial for assault and obstruction. Along with sons Eamon and Ryan, they face life in prison.
I'm not afraid of the truth. The lies bother me.
Judge Gloria Navarro, an Obama appointee, let Ryan out of jail to prepare his own defense, but refused to release 71-year-old Cliven, fearing he won't obey federal police. In court, the Bundys wear prison-issued clothing instead of street clothes.
Well, they're in custody. They want the world to know they're in custody.
Prosecutors understand the symbolism, but insist they only seized Bundy's cattle after the rancher violated court orders and failed to pay $1 million in back grazing fees. The family argues Washington used that issue to turn their ranch into a federal monument, which is what it is today.
This is a very simple case. It's about a man and a family.
If you could.
Who ranched the land. The family's been ranching it for 150 years. The federal government comes in. They claim a right to manage that land, and the way they're managing it would have driven him out of business.
Cliven Bundy is a folk hero to those who see federal overreach in the West, where Washington controls more than 40% of the land in 9 Western states. This trial could last several months. Brett?
William,
give me what was the conclusion of this case?
Carter Khan, juries acquitted the defendants Richard Lovin and Stephen A. Stewart of all the charges.
They were facing life in prison. They put guns on the FBI and pointed guns at them, and for days they got arrested. They were facing life in prison. The crime was on camera. The news had the crime on camera. They went to trial. They became folk heroes for pointing guns at the FBI and refusing to let the FBI take their land. They became heroes. Listen carefully, everyone out there. Sooner or later, someone out there is going to be put on the jury for this black man that allegedly killed this cop. Acquit him. Acquit that black man of murder. It is your obligation as a parent to not put that black man in jail. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're Chinese or black or whatever, or Hispanic. No parent should put this black man in jail, because all of us should understand his grief, just like we understand the Bundy Ranch. They didn't go to jail, even though they knew they did the crime. Why? Because everyone on the jury understood why they made that mistake. They knew that sadness of losing your farm made them do this crime. They had this farm for 100 years. Now they owe $1 million that they can't pay. Everyone on the jury understood. The legal term is jury nullification. It's when the jury knows you did it, but they understand your motivation. They give you pity. And the jury can just say not guilty. This brother should never be convicted, not by a parent. Not by a parent. Let this man go free. Let him go free. If you're on this trial, if they pick you on this trial, then let him go. Not guilty no matter what. Or else maybe someone won't understand what you're going through when you go through grief. I pray you understand. You had your hand up, Marah? Go ahead.
I was about to say, sir, that is like damn near justify temporary insanity too. At the same time.
Not guilty. Just like the Bundys. Just like the Bundy ranch. Not guilty. That's all. That's all. Not guilty, and that's it. And make him a folk hero too. Say, God damn, I don't agree with what he did. Didn't white people just do that for that Luigi? I think that just happened, House, for Luigi.
Yep.
Luigi went and killed the CEO of some goddamn company. There's 200 people outside with his name on signs cheering for him. Why? Because they understand that someone could get so angry at the pharmaceutical company that they might make a mistake. They might do something irrational. Every parent should understand what this man did. And he's not guilty. And that's that. Anything else? Marah. Any other stories? Give me the one where they called the cat nigger or whatever happened over there.
Come on, sir. White woman who was caught on camera calling little black boy the N-word on Minnesota playground raises over $300,000 to relocate after backlash.
Isn't this something? Huh? Yeah, that's what happened. Play the video if we have it. There's a woman, I don't know what happened, but she was at a park or something. She's at some park. For some reason, she calls a little baby boy nigger all over the place. I don't know why she was doing it or what her motivation was, but I believe a Hispanic brother filmed it. Filmed her calling this little boy nigger. And so, of course, the internet got her name, got her address, and was ready to give her the internet business. Before you know it, they give her $300,000 to relocate to a neighborhood that approves of that kind of talk. And now she can just buy another house and leave. No big deal. You see, people are allowed to understand behavior. They can do it. Why can't we? Why can't we say, well, what the brother did was wrong to shoot that cop? He shouldn't shoot him. But shit, listen, man, we all fall short of the glory. So he not guilty. He's going home. Well, but Muhammad, we have it on tape. I understand. I ain't so well, whatever. Not guilty. Well, his fingerprints are on the gun. Oh boy, that's something. Not guilty. He's going home, and that is that. Why can't we do it? Everybody else can. Oh, I forgot, House, because we're not human, right? We don't have the same humanity. We can't feel sorry for somebody. We can't put ourselves in his shoes. We can't empathize with a father who lost a son. I think we can.
Somebody said it's at 600,000 now.
Yeah, last time I saw it was 500. So yeah, it probably is above 600 now.
There you go. I completely understand. All right, anything else? If you want to play the video, if we can't play, our videos come up slow here. If we can't play, then we'll move on. All right. Okay. All right. Let me know then, so we can just move on. All right. If you can't do it, let's move on to something else. Go ahead.
So she called a little black kid a nigga.
Yeah.
And this is America. These are the ones who voted for Donald Trump. Like she get rewarded for abusing us.
Well, I can tell you one thing. She's gonna spend about 100,000 of that on coke and meth. This is the drug dealer gonna get rich now. Good. Because she might live in that same house and just spend every penny of that on getting high.
Mm-hmm.
Or in a year, she'll be selling that baby for drugs. Go ahead, whoever's reading the next story. Go ahead.
And you know what that's going to motivate more Americans to do? Salaki.
Forget about it. You're telling the truth, too. Let's do it, Yedai. Can you play it?
Did you call the word? It is my own business. You call him a... Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again? Okay. All right, that's what you say. the child? Did you call the child the word? It is my own business. You call him a. Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again? Okay. All right, that's what you say.
All right. Everybody saw it, right? They see it on their phone all the time. All right, you got it, you die.
I was trained to be a perfect white actress, then told I wasn't black enough. Viola Davis exposes Juilliard's racial disconnect as the emotional cost of being molded for a world that was never intended to embrace her.
Here they go, Haas. This is more of the black people in, the white world striving for success in Juilliard. Juilliard is like some school where you go to learn acting and piano playing or, singing or something like that. It's a super rich school for the arts, for performing arts.
They're famous.
Oh, but come to find out, how is this racism over there too? Who would have known? There's tons of racism in Juilliard, and so she had the Viola Davis. That's her. That's the woman king. Remember that, my That's the woman king. Every time I saw that movie, I go, what happened to a queen? I thought a woman king was called a queen. Come to find out, it's a woman king, because I don't know why in the hell you had to be a woman king when queens have ruled the planet Earth for like 300 years. Queen Victoria, Queen Anne, Queen Elizabeth I, Queen Elizabeth II. Queens have killed so many people and invaded so many continents. When was a queen not strong? Queen Elizabeth ruled the planet Earth. Yep. Queen Elizabeth II defeated Germany and defeated World War II. Queen Anne, Queen Victoria ruled for like 100 goddamn years and conquered the planet. Come to find out, a queen ain't good enough. You got to be a woman king. I didn't even understand it. I try to understand it, but I don't understand it, all right? Anyway, his bitch is the woman king. And of course, she had to go through so much trouble in Juilliard, trying to fit into a white world, trying to do it. And this is her struggle, Haas. Go ahead, you die.
It says Academy Award-winning actress Viola Davis recently opened up about her experiences as a student at the prestigious Juilliard School, revealing the contradictions and challenges she faces as a black woman in an institution designed primarily for white performers.
Haas, I'm so sick of this side. I don't know if I can do another story about this here. I'm so sick of hearing about how hard it is to go to a white school, I'm tired of boycotting Target because that's a white store. I'm tired of hearing about how bad it is in a white school, because you know what I heard before that, Haas? How bad it was in a black school, and we should integrate.
Yep.
That's what I used to hear before this.
Yep.
I thought all of you black Christians wanted to go to these white schools. I thought that's what you wanted. Isn't that Martin's dream? I thought it was Martin's dream to go to Juilliard. I thought it was Martin's dream to go to Target. Didn't you effing march so you could go to Target?
Yep.
Didn't you destroy the black economy, destroy the black school for arts, destroy the HBCUs, all so you could go to white schools?
Yep.
The minute you get into white schools, you say, boy, there's not enough black people here. No shit. All the black people are in the segregated schools. You didn't want to go to them. You hated them. You marched so you could get into Juilliard. Yep. Do you know how many black people had to march so Juilliard would accept Viola Davis up? Yep. Do you understand the trouble that it took? And I don't think Viola does. The struggle it took to get for Juilliard to simply open its doors to black people. The amount of marching and laws and government issues just for Juilliard to say, we'll let black people in. Do you know how many black performing arts schools had to close down because black people got into Juilliard? Yep. Now here we go again. You hate Target. You hate Juilliard. You hate everything that you fought to integrate. It's making me think maybe integration was a mistake. I hate to go with such a crazy thought, but it seems like you regret integrating. You telling me you regret going to Juilliard? This woman is at the age where I bet when she was a kid, Juilliard was segregated when she was very young. She's in that age. If you're about 60 or 65, things were segregated. And you live at the time when the door just got open for you to get into Target or Juilliard or Woolworths or J.C.Penney. Now for you to complain about it, maybe you are not the one that should decide where people go to school or where people shop, because you'll always choose the white choice. That's what you're going to choose. You're never going to choose the Hispanic choice, the black choice. You're going to choose Juilliard, and then the minute you get in there, you'll say, damn, I wish I went to a black school. I got to go.
They need to blame that on their leaders, man. Like, your so-called leaders done failed you as a people, man. You understand me? They failed you. Like, y'all want to sit up here and say MLK, right? And he's the one that started it. He's the one that pushed it, right? But what y'all fail to realize, right, is that he realized he made a mistake. After a period of time, he said to himself, yo, I made a mistake. What I did was integrate my people into a burning house.
So
she experienced the burning house effect. That came from listening to MLK.
That's right.
That's what's going on with her. She experienced it. And now she finally got to own up to it. You can't hide it no more. You can't hide it no more. And listen, they get more and more blatant with it because it's who they truly are. And then when you go back and realize and really do your history and research, this cat said it. He said, I fear that I have put my people into a burning house. I done made a mistake. Well, since you are now the effect of the burning, you are now experiencing the effect of the burning house.
That's right.
The MLK said he did by integrating us with them and pushing for it. That's all. It's simple, man. And now they're getting more and more emboldened. And they don't feel like they got to hide it no more. They ain't got to hide who they truly are. Really, in essence, really, even in Hollywood was doing, they ain't really hide it back then.
Forget about it.
Because you had to be a certain way to get in Hollywood.
Forget about it.
You had to be quiet. You had to be skinny. You had to do what they say. Actually, who knows what else they made you do?
Yeah, forget about it.
You understand? It's really been there for you. But now everything else is coming out in the open now. You know what I mean? So that's what I hear.
I just wish, when they say this about Juilliard and Target and Walmart, I just wish someone would ask them, well, what was all that marching for?
Yes.
Why in the hell did you want this? Yeah. Why did you complain that that they wouldn't let you in?
Yeah.
Why did you do this? Because you could have went to a black and Hispanic school that catered to you, that was sensitive to you, that was for you. Why did you have to do? Oh, I know. Jealousy of white people.
Yep.
That's all. Jealousy. FOMO. You ever heard that term before, Haas? FOMO. FOMO is fear of being left out. No, was that left? Can't. That's something else. What is the M in FOMO? Fear. What is FOMO, you die? Fear of being something out. That's FOMO. It's like it's when somebody's having a party and you gotta go, or else you feel you're gonna be left out of it. You die.
FOMO. Anxiety that an exciting or interesting event may be currently be happening elsewhere, often aroused by posts seen on social media.
Yeah, it's like today, how's on the internet, you see somebody having a party, or they going. You ever see whores go down to the islands to celebrate a breakup? Almost like they go to the island because they just broke up with somebody. So now they're on an island with a bikini on, drinking, trying to get over their ex. Do you know dumb bitches look at her and want to break up so they can make a post talking about trying to get over him, on some island. Women look at it and feel like they wish they were on an island.
Right.
They wish people were feeling sorry for them. They wish people were giving them attention. Let me tell you something about blacks and Hispanics. We had FOMO about being in Juilliard. In our mind, Juilliard was like heaven for playing the piano, heaven for actress, heaven for music. We thought Harvard and Yale and these white schools, we just imagined what it must be like going to Target and J.C.Penney and Woolworths. Man, it was like Draw's heaven. Clothing, shoes, heaven. And we imagined it. Come to find out, we get in there, they treat us like garbage. They follow you around the whole goddamn store. Come to find out, we thought we were missing out of something.
Right.
That's why we wanted to integrate.
Right.
We saw those white restaurants. One of the young men who sat at a lunch counter to get a hamburger and was beaten up and thrown out when the integration law passed, he went to that same lunch counter. He ate that hamburger, and he said it was the worst food I've ever tasted in my life. That's on the internet. He could not believe that he fought and marched for that shit. He could not believe it. That is FOMO. In our minds, as we're sitting in a black or Hispanic soul food place, in the Dos con Pollo, and we thinking, boy, that white hamburger, I bet the cheese is more melted.
Right.
The cheese is not nigger cheese. I bet it ain't no nigger burger in there. That's a white burger. White pie. Remember the movie? What was that movie, Haas? The movie with Eddie Murphy and the cat in prison. Life. Give them from your hand.
Yeah.
Remember the movie where the white woman put the pie on the windowsill? You ain't see it.
No,
I ain't seen it in 20 years, but I remember this. She put a pie on the windowsill, and that pie was smelling like cherries and pie crust. And the brother said, "No, this was in the segregated restaurant." And Eddie Murphy wanted a slice of pie, and she said, the waitress said, "No, you can't have no nigger. This ain't nigger pie. This is white pie." And he said, "Well, what do I got to do to turn that white pie into a nigger pie? How much will it cost? Because that white pie is delicious. It is so flaky and buttery, and the cherries and the apples are better than nigger pies." That's what's in our mind about white women, white neighborhoods, white schools, white culture. Haas, it's a lie.
Right.
Nigger pie is better.
Damn right.
Nigger restaurants are better.
Damn right.
SPIC restaurants, SPIC schools are better. And we didn't know it until we went inside.
Right.
Good. And got that raw ass chicken. Raw chicken and potato salad with all type of weird mess in it. No flavor, no salt. Listen, in April, in a Georgia elementary school, they posted whites only and blacks only signs over the water fountains last month in Georgia, and the parents are so mad. But I don't understand why they so mad when I thought you was pushing black businesses. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole black thing. I thought we was coming out of all that mess and getting back to blackness. So why are you mad over the whites only, blacks only sign? Like we talking about the food and the restaurants and everything else. I'm sure our water fountains were better than theirs. I yield.
He's telling the truth, Maya. Yeah. I mean, Lord knows if we could just get control over our neighborhood, everything we have would be better.
Yep.
Now, if the white people control our water fountain, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
But if we could control it, Jesus Christ, the crystal clear water that will come out of there. Maya, you got it. You know what I'm talking about. Go ahead, you dying. Let's wrap it up.
Trump says he is directing Bureau of Prisons to reopen Alcatraz to ruthless and violent offenders.
Yeah, this happened this week too. This happened yesterday. You heard about this, Maya? It's another dumb thing that Donald Trump says, which is why he got elected. He wants to reopen Alcatraz. He's gonna make the Chateau d'If. The Chateau d'If was this prison in France. There's in some book I read a few months ago, Chateau d'If, that was just a hellhole called the Mansion of Death over there in the Count of Monte Cristo. That was the book, the Count of Monte Cristo. And it was some hellhole prison that everybody likes to know is open because they know that they have a place to put people that they don't like. And Trump looks at Alcatraz and he just wants it to be open again so he can fill it to the rim with Hispanics. So he can throw them in there, and it's going to do his heart good to know that you are somewhere suffering, that you are in pain, like the Chateau d'If over there in France. He's a cruel person. This is why you elected him, to open up Alcatraz. Is that what you wanted?
Right.
To get a damn shut down, rusty ass prison that's been closed since what, the 70s or 60s? You want it open again just so you can have a fresh place to torture Mexicans. This is why you voted for this type of cat out, because he is an instrument of your own cruelty. That's what Donald Trump is. So he wants to open up the Alcatraz house, and that's the story. All right,
Alcatraz.
Yeah, come on, man. Go ahead. I wish we had the damn clip of him talking about it. So dumb. Like he can't read at all. I guarantee that bastard ain't read the Count of Monte Cristo. I can guarantee you that. I guarantee he did not write that book either. The Art of the Deal. I guarantee he did not ever write a book. He didn't read that book, let alone write it. Go ahead, you die. Please go ahead and play it.
Idea that we opened Alcatraz. Just an idea I've had, and I guess because the judges, so many of these radicalized judges, they want to have trials for every single, think of it, every single person that's in our country illegally, that came in illegally. That would mean millions of trials, and it's just so ridiculous what's happening. And it's long been a symbol, Alcatraz, of whatever it is. I mean, it's a sad symbol, but it's a symbol of what.
He said Alcatraz has long been a symbol of whatever it is. You know what Alcatraz is a symbol of, don't you? Cruelty. It's a symbol of pain, and that is what they like. And he did not want to say it right there. Alcatraz has long been a symbol of whatever it's been a symbol of, because he knows damn well what Alcatraz is a symbol of. A place of suffering.
He understands.
A place where you put people to make them suffer, as if you don't have enough goddamn prisons everywhere with millions of people in it. You got to open up this symbolic prison because it symbolizes torturing people.
You know, I wonder if Guantanamo Bay open back up.
Oh, how's I forget about that? That's another symbol. He'll be talking about that next. You reminded me of a news story about Alcatraz when they shut the place down. Wait, give me why they shut it down. I remember they shut it down because they were torturing people in the basement of Alcatraz, torturing white people. The story got so goddamn big, and the prison guards started to talk about it, how you got taken into that basement of Alcatraz and damn near beat to death in the basement. And there were people in there that were supposed to be released, and they would hold up their paperwork and not let them out of jail. Wow. Even though a judge said to release them because they didn't want to let them out, because if they let them out, they would talk about how they were beat in the basement.
You know what I think about with this here, what they did with these prisons?
Mm-hmm.
I think about Guantanamo Bay, right? Mm-hmm. I think about all them Israelites they had over there, right? Mm-hmm. And then I found out when they gave Afghanistan back, you know who the ones ruling that country right now?
I think I do.
The same one that was in Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, that's right.
The same ones they done put in that Guantanamo Bay and tortured and did all this stuff too. Mm-hmm. They the ones ruling Afghanistan right now. And when I read the article, I said, well, what the hell was the point? You got to be kidding me. They just waited them out. Now they rule the country.
That's it. I said, that's it. So
what's the
can
point?
You imagine? They're going to put people in jail who don't belong there like they're doing right now, who shouldn't be there. And if a judge saw the paperwork, the judge would let them out.
Yeah.
But they don't want the judge to see it, so they can torture you in a hole on some island in the middle of the goddamn ocean. Give me the reason that they shut down Alcatraz. If you can find it, let me know.
Come on, sir. It says Alcatraz was shut down due to its high operating costs and crumbling restructure. It said it cost 3 times more to run Alcatraz than any other federal prison.
Do you hear that? Yeah. He want to open it back up. The shit is falling apart, Haas. It's crumbling down to the goddamn ground.
Yeah.
He wants to open it up because it symbolizes torture. Okay. And that's what he enjoys.
And it has no running water, General. They got to bring the water over.
They got
no water.
That's what people were. Brothers were sitting in Alcatraz with no water. No running water at all. No running water. The place was a goddamn hole.
So where do they get the water from?
They bring it in.
You know how much water they got to bring in?
Yeah. And that's what So they shut the place down. Oh, but they need a symbol of torture. And Guantanamo Bay, I forgot about that. That's definitely coming back.
And I think, didn't Trump just send
talking about that?
Didn't Trump send some people there already in March?
I don't remember, but it sounds like him. Sounds right.
Wow.
Like some y'all said he did, Maya.
Gone.
All right, come on. Anything else?
Oh, come on. I have to roll
Go ahead.
It says the cells were primitive and lacked privacy. They were furnished with a bed, a desk, a waste basin, a toilet on the back wall, and few other items other than a blanket. African Americans were segregated from other inmates.
Anyway, they want to bring it back. All right, there you go. All right, next.
Netanyahu vows response after Houthi missile hits near Israel's main airport.
So that's World War III is still kicking up. The Israelis are fighting. What's the Houthi? The Houthi are they with the Iranians? The Iranians. They're fighting against the Israelis over money. Come on. Yemen. I'm sorry. They're fighting with Yemen over, of course, money, shipping lanes, and just making money, which is all anything is ever about. They're fighting this week and they're shooting at each other. And of course, America is going to aid the Israelis in conquering the Middle East because America gets a cut. And that is all this thing is about. Donald Trump said he's going to turn the Gaza Strip into a paradise, make it a wonderful vacation spot as soon as he unalives every Arab in the country. Then they can make use of the neighborhood. It's disgusting, and it's exactly what oppressors here in America love. Go ahead. Please.
Kawakam. U.S. declares military zone around El Paso, Texas, allowing soldiers to arrest migrants.
Here we go now. So now imagine, of course, the federal government is the one in charge of immigration, right? So a regular cop, he has no jurisdiction to arrest a migrant who he thinks is an illegal citizen. But the United States just decided that any place around El Paso is controlled by the federal government. So now the federal government can go and arrest migrants who are there to pick lettuce and vegetables so that you can afford vegetables. The only reason that vegetables are even affordable is because the people that pick them are not American citizens, and they can pay them $1 because when they take it back to Mexico, it's 20 pesos or 50 pesos. And that's the only reason you can even have food that's affordable. But Donald Trump is going to raise the price of food by expelling every migrant that is picking the food in the fields. So now you're going to buy a banana that's going to cost $5 because the person that used to pick it is not there anymore. So now he has to pay people minimum wage, which is about $15 an hour, as opposed to giving him $2 an hour because he's an illegal immigrant. Donald Trump is trying to raise the cost of food. He wants you to starve. That's what he wants. Because in his mind, he doesn't even understand how food is purchased. You don't even get the concept of food and money and being poor. He doesn't even understand it.
You know,
and that's why you like him.
Didn't we do a story a couple of weeks ago where this Edomite had a business in Colorado?
Yeah.
Where they lose their business because they ain't got no workers for their business?
Yes, we did.
And they voted for Trump and now they losing their business?
Yes, they did. That's what happens. That's what happens when you vote your cruel heart instead of voting your pocketbook. You should have voted your pocketbook. Then you would not have voted for Donald Trump, but you voted your cruelty. That's what you were for. You wanted your cruelty. And you got just what you deserve. All right. Hidayah, was that it? With that, I want to thank Commanding General YAHANNA. He'll be here next week. Thank General Mayak. General Mayak, was something else you wanted to say?
Just that, you know, and a lot of people, I know I've heard when he got in, a lot of people say they voted for Donald Trump because he know how to get rich. He know how to stay rich. And for some reason, they think that means their pockets getting fat. But Donald Rich know how to get rich by robbing you and making you more poor. And that was it.
Can I just back you up? That is such an ignorant way that some oppressors think, that they'll vote for a rich man because he'll make me rich like him. You know, Puff Daddy started his trial today, Mayak.
God.
Puff Daddy, they chose the jury today. Mayak, I know you remember. Remember when rappers would sign to Puff Diddy because Puff Daddy was so rich and they thought Puff Daddy would make them rich.
God.
Remember that, Mayak?
Got it in one gun.
They thought, well, since Puff Daddy drinks Cristal and he has Rolls Royces, I will sign to Bad Boy Records. And Puff Daddy will make me rich like him. Come to find out, rich men get rich from not helping the people who work for them.
Every rapper that signed him died poor.
Yeah, it was some group called Day 26 Highs. You know who they are?
No.
Brother, they was on my phone yesterday crying like children over Puff Daddy and how he paid them nothing. Gave them nothing at all. Everybody that signed to Bad Boy Records got robbed.
Yeah.
All of them. Why?
You know,
because that's where the shiny suit comes from.
Right.
From stealing money from other rappers. From cheating you out of your contract. From stealing your money. Rich men don't get rich by making other people rich.
Right.
Rich men get rich by stealing money from people who should have it.
Right.
Maya, come on.
I know y'all remember the movie The Five Heartbeats, right?
Forget about it.
Remember the cat dangled the other guy over the balcony, right? Because he wanted his money. You know what I'm saying? Puff Daddy really did that.
Yes, he did.
He
really
dangled some cat
over a goddamn balcony.
Yeah.
Puff Daddy.
Get the fuck out.
He hung somebody over a goddamn balcony.
Puff Daddy.
Yes, he did that. And he's such a good correlation to Donald Trump. Also, he's a good friend of Donald Trump. Him, Mike Tyson, Puff Daddy, they are best buddies with Donald Trump. Michael Jackson, too, when he was alive, was one of Donald Trump's best friends. They loved each other. They were the best buddies because all of them were rich, disgusting thieves who got rich from cheating people, not from making other people rich. Correct, Maya.
Yeah, Big Red. So the trooper said,
Big Red, right.
My office hours are from
are
9 to 5.
That's correct, Maya. The water again, Marah.
If I may, sir, too, what's so heavy is a cat named Corey Rooney who was responsible for 50 Cent getting signed. He's a big songwriter. He did a bunch of stuff. He was like, man, I remember when Diddy just used to pick up our hamburgers. He's like, man, we used to treat that nigga like trash. He said one day they gave him the position. He got A&R. He said, but he was good. He was good. But we just couldn't get over it. like the fact that he was just a hamburger boy that they just treated like trash.
What he felt like doing.
And now he do the same thing.
Following him is not going to make you rich. Nope. And voting for Donald Trump was never going to make you idiots out there, you oppressors out there rich, but he is going to make himself rich.
There you go.
You understand that? With that, once again, General Mayab, General Hazayan, Officer Marah, Officer Yedaya, Officer Ibad, Officer Matamyad, gracias por tu servicio, gracias por todo. With that, we'll see you next week. Shalom.
That's why I don't know you. I'm not letting nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. That's right. And it's worth something.
This is Black Watch with Commanding General YAHANNA, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man he make man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
We don't need a black man in the White House. You need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. Black Watch.